Hey, this is Meredith's husband. I've got some SEO advice for you, but I'm going to keep it really simple so that you can understand it, so it makes sense, and most importantly, so you can actually use it.
But I'm still witnessing it.
Okay. Can we talk about SEO?
Yes.
Okay. So the last, I think, 6 episodes, we talked about all these healthy habits you could do for SEO, right?
Indeed.
A lot of information. I hope it was a lot of information.
Yeah.
My fear is that it may be a little overwhelming. A whole lot more stuff to do.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do today is kind of wrap it all up, suggest not a schedule so much, but a cadence to help avoid the frustration and overwhelm of having this feeling that, oh my gosh, there's so much I need to do.
Yeah. Welcome to my world.
Okay. So the first healthy habit we talked about was measurement. Yeah. Remember how you can get actionable insights?
Sure.
Now, the problem that I see most of the time, the mistake that most people make, is they actually do this too often.
Oh, really?
Especially with their rankings. They look at their rankings all the time and they assume, oh, my rankings went down today. It means I did something wrong. Or they went up today. It means I did something right.
Like when you're in the gym and you're like, my muscles are not getting bigger.
No.
Oh, they are getting bigger. They are. No, they're not.
Yeah, maybe a little. I don't know. I've never had that feeling. But
I don't think I have.
That's not something you want to do. And we've covered this in another episode, and I think we covered a little bit in the episode when we talked about measurement and gaining actionable insights. Don't look at your rankings daily. There's many reasons why you want to avoid that. Okay. But number one, it's going to just make you crazy. It's going to make you frustrated, and you're going to go nuts. So don't check your rankings every day or every week. Check them once a month.
Oh, okay.
Check them once a month. And also try not to look at the individual keyword rankings. Look at your average keyword ranking. If you have the free plan with SEMrush, that'll be 10 keywords. Okay. Those 10 keywords are going to have an average ranking. Just watch that and watch the trend.
Okay.
And do it monthly. Don't do it daily or weekly or hourly. Same with Google Analytics and Google Search Console. People don't do this as much. It's not as much fun. But don't look at your Google Analytics every day.
Okay.
I would say what I would do is I would say always look at the last previous month, the last calendar month.
Okay. The last calendar month.
So so what I do is in the first half of every month, I log in and I look at what happened last month. And I compare that to the same month the year before.
Oh, okay.
I don't compare monthly because there is some seasonality and you can't help that.
Okay. We got that.
So that was episode 63.
Okay.
Measurement, gaining actionable insights. After 63 comes 64.
64.
Yes, maintaining a healthy website. Now this is once you have done your initial SEO with SEMrush, this is pretty easy because they're going to send you an email every week if you have a regular paid plan. I think it's every month if you have a free plan. And if your website score goes down, it's going to tell you. Oh. Then that's when you need to go log in and try to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If your score doesn't go down, you don't need to do anything.
Hey.
Episode 64. No, that was 64. Let me start over. Episode 65 was improving your website quality.
Yes.
Now, the mistake that people make here is they don't do this often enough.
Oh. Okay.
This is something I would encourage you to do on at least a semi-regular schedule so you avoid the issue of having years go by doing nothing to improve your site and then having a huge project of having to overhaul the whole thing.
Okay, so what would that mean? How many times? What does
how many times? So I'll tell you what
frequently.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I do. And it depends on, how active you are on your website, how big your website is, but you want to just find some sort of rhythm that's good for you. If you have a really small site, you won't need to do this very often. But what I do is I try to set aside 15 minutes daily and just look at my website as a user. And when I notice that something just doesn't feel right, I just make a note. And then the next week or the next day or whatever, with that 15 minutes, then I'm developing a list of things I can go in and improve.
Oh, okay.
Now, 15 minutes a day doesn't always happen.
I know that well.
In fact, it probably rarely happens. But what does happen is usually when I do sit down and do the 15 minutes, I end up spending more than 15 minutes. I'll spend 30 minutes or so. However you want to approach this. It could be 15 minutes a day. It could be an hour a week. You could sit down and do 3 hours once a month, whatever it is, I would say you probably want to think about spending somewhere between an hour per week and an hour per month.
Oh, okay.
So an hour per week would be like 4 hours a month. That would be like an afternoon, one afternoon a week.
Yeah.
That's the high end. I don't think you're going to need to spend more of that unless you have a really active site. And on the lower end, I would say try to spend like an hour a month.
Okay.
Or, just sit down with a cup of tea or
Hot
coffee
chocolate?
or hot chocolate and just look at it and just spend a half hour. Okay. Episode 66 was about blogging.
66.
And the mistake that people make here
66.
is that they make a really big deal of this.
Of what?
Of blogging.
Oh, yeah.
People have, I feel like people, and I do this too, I feel like people in their minds have this big mountain called blogging, and it's this huge undertaking that I got to do.
Yeah.
And I got to set aside
It's a
6
chore.
hours at a time. Yeah. So what I would encourage is to at least think about this daily, because what you want to do is you want to make your blogging a byproduct of whatever it is you're doing during the day.
Okay.
So the stuff that you're normally doing, you want to find a way to take something out of that and convert it into a blog. You don't want to have blogging be this huge extra thing that you need to do.
Right.
So every day, if you're just starting this, I would say just take 60 seconds a day and at the end of the day or maybe in the morning and think about what you did yesterday. Think about what did I do during the day that my clients or my colleagues or people in my industry might either find helpful if they were to know or just entertaining.
Snuggling dogs on the floor.
Yeah. And sometimes, if you are a pet photographer and you have cute dogs snuggling on the floor, that's cute. Yeah. People love cute things. Yeah. People also might like to see, what is your editing process? Or they might like to see what goes into making an album, or they might like to see, I don't know, your office. Oh, they probably don't want to see your office.
No, they do not.
That's a big no.
Yeah. Do not enter.
And if you're already blogging, then you don't need to do the 60-second. And good for you if you're already blogging. Super.
Yes.
Nice job.
Hats off. Chapeau.
Whatever that means.
It means hat in French. It means I tip my hat to you. I lift my hat. And good for you.
Episode 67 was about linking.
Yes, it was.
So linking is a little different. I don't have any recommendation in terms of like a daily schedule, but what I would recommend is after you have a project, so like a shoot, after your shoot is finished.
Yes.
And this works, like I said during the episode 67, it works especially well for wedding photographers, not so much for others, but we'll get into that in a second. Just think about after a project.
Event photographers.
Event photographers works, super. Just think about who did you work with, who was on that project. If you are a wedding photographer, were there caterers, florists, DJs? If you're an event photographer, was there a venue? Think about partners who you might exchange links with. So this would be, let's say you're an event photographer and you go photograph an event. Could you just, while you're there doing the event, can you snap some extra photos that make the event space look good?
Right.
Obviously, you probably wouldn't put people's faces in it because the idea is then you could give these photos to the event, to the venue.
Yeah.
If they're good photos, probably going to put them online. I actually have some event venues as clients and they do this all the time.
So how often would you say that we need to do this, the linking?
So this is not, I don't have a schedule like once a month or once a week or whatever, but after every project, after every time you have some sort of engagement with other professionals, do this and just think, hey, is there something I can do? And then listen to this episode and how to do that. Episode 67. Remember, we talked about either make people look good or make their lives easier.
Yes, I do remember that.
Okay.
That's very, very good knowledge.
And if you are not a wedding photographer or an event photographer, if you're like yourself, a lot of times your shoots don't involve any other professionals. You just go straight to a client's house and you photograph them. In that case, that probably won't work. Mm-hmm. But what you do is volunteer somewhere and take some photos and give them your photos. Yes. You do this for animal shelters. You've done this for children's organizations.
You do.
Try to pick something that's related to your industry. That's going to make that link even better.
Right.
And hopefully that's not going to cost you a lot of time. And I know you enjoy doing that. That's why you do what you do. It's not like a huge painful thing to go out and photograph some pets. No. Okay. So do you want to recap? You want a quick recap?
Of the recap?
We're going to recap the recap.
Okay.
So if you have a really short memory, you can just remember this final 60 seconds. Yeah, maybe 120 seconds.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Number 1, measurement. Do it once a month.
Yep.
Your rankings and your Google Analytics, no more than once a month. The healthy website. Whenever SEMrush sends you an email and it says your score is dropped, spend some time in the next few weeks to fix it. That's it. Number 3, the quality of your website. Between an hour per week and an hour per month.
Yes.
It's kind of what I would shoot for.
Yeah.
Number 4, blogging. If you're not doing it already, start to try to think about it daily and how it can be a byproduct.
Right.
Daily, 60 seconds daily.
60 seconds.
Link building.
All the time. After every shoot.
After each session.
Yeah.
Before you archive your images so that you have them, so that you can send them out and give them to people.
It's fresh on your mind.
Just put this into your workflow.
Yeah.
If you do those things, you're going to be in really good shape.
Yes. Fit as a fiddle.
Oh, I wish I knew how to end a podcast.
Yeah. Maybe Google it.
God damn, I'm awesome. Oh, I wish I was. Oh, I am recording that. Great. That's perfect.
Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really hope that you find this helpful and useful. And if you do, what you could do for us as a thanks would be to, drumroll please, yes, leave a review. Yes, everybody says it, I know, but it really does make a difference. Take 3 seconds, leave as many stars, say something really nice about what you like about the podcast and maybe why other people would like it. It would mean the world to us, especially my husband. That better? All right, I'm going to try one where I'm not going to be charming.